The recent reopening of the Kaesong industrial park in North Korea was largely interpreted as a political decision, an attempt to normalise diplomatic relations after a period of conflict. But according to some North Korea analysts, economic necessity may also have played a part. The situation in North Korea has become so dire that not only is Kaesong desperately needed, Pyongyang's also said to be experimenting with some other free trade development zones near to its border with China.
This is the public face of North Korea. The occasion, the 60th anniversary of the armistice agreement that concluded the 3-year Korean War. But to those who've had the privilege of venturing beyond Pyongyang, there's a lot more to North Korea than just mass displays.
There's a free trade zone in the north, in Rasan, and there have been some announcements of other free trade zones. So I think you're going to get very targeted areas of kind of development, I guess you could call it. And it's kind of similar in a sense to what happened in China. So, a lot of these free trade zones, they're kind of on the borders with China or maybe facing the sea.
John is also a board member of Chosun Exchange, an international outfit that engages North Korea on the economic front. Having visited the country several times, John is optimistic Pyongyang will continue to open up, albeit cautiously, to bring prosperity to its population.
Back in the 90s, there was a lot of relief aid, kind of money coming into the country. That's dried up for the most part. So in order to get funding into the country, they need to attract business. They need to attract investment.
To that end, Pyongyang seems eager to get international humanitarian organizations back into the country. Last year, Singapore's Mercy Relief was in Chonei County, some 400 kilometers from Pyongyang. They were invited to provide assistance to the communities affected by floods and landslides.
Along the way, we saw many things. We saw pockets of poverty, but to us, we've seen these conditions in some of the Indo-China countries. We've seen some of these conditions in the South Asian countries, and but it's not as if they are much way below those that we have seen before. We don't see people dying of hunger.
However, the United Nations has raised concerns over the deteriorating humanitarian conditions in the DPRK and called on the international community to extend their help. Observers say the combination of economic and humanitarian needs, coupled with a young leader who was educated for some time in Switzerland, could all combine to create an opportunity for even greater openness. But even if that openness materializes, it would still be premature to talk of peace and unification on the Korean Peninsula.